Uh, it's it's the card number 124 of the 1953 Bowman Color set. I was supposed to be ready, right? I was totally was not ready. I was like reading the chat. Chuck Dressen, Charlie Dressen, here he is. With a big silly grin on his face. I'm going to read a couple lines about Chuck Dressen as I hold this card up. This is from the Saber biography. While common wisdom dictates that baseball games are won with bats, balls, and gloves, Charlie Dressen believed until his dying breath that any game could be won with brains. Well, any game could be won with his brains. Although he was a nonstop talker and a supreme egotist, Dressen was the flesh and blood epitome of a baseball lifer, single-minded, resilient, and always trying to think 3 steps ahead. Somewhat controversial figure in Brooklyn Dodger history, but he also managed for other teams. A rare manager card. There's a handful of manager cards in the Bowman Color set. Let's see what it says. Wow. This is amazing. I don't know that I remember this. The first line on the back of the card says, "The cocky little manager of the Dodgers led them to a pennant in 1952 after losing one in 1951 in the 3rd playoff game." Yeah, we all know about that, right? So if it's card number 124, it must be session number 124 of Card Room Live. Let's see if I can get myself back on track. For nearly 4 years, Card Room Live has been going live to help fellow hobbyists and YouTubers waste some time looking at crusty old cardboard, but we try to always make it time well wasted. It's not a show, it's a hangout for fellow vintage collectors. I think everybody knows that at this point. Welcome to my fellow YouTubers, to the commenters, to the folks from all over social media land. If you're new to Card Room Live, don't be afraid to say hello. If you're still here, you may have left already. You're among cardboard friends. This is the live stream where everybody knows your name. And if we don't know your name, we soon will learn it. If you're listening to this later, you might be going to or coming home from work. Perhaps you're on eBay. Perhaps you're sorting cards. Perhaps you're rolling out meatballs. It happens. Walking the dog, maybe sitting on the john, putting kids to bed. Perhaps you're wondering, just like my buddy Doug DK Cardboard once said, you might be wondering if you're hanging on to baseball cards as a distraction to what would otherwise be an existential crisis about the human condition. That could be what's happening on a Sunday evening. You might be wondering if Eddie Wakus will make an appearance. Now you're going to be wondering if he'll make more than one appearance. You might be wondering what other kind of Mike foolery we'll get into tonight. I know Mike's in the chat tonight, so it's entirely possible. What other stuff are y'all doing when you listen to this? Let me know. Send me an email or send me a text message. And perhaps you'll make the list even longer. If you want to get in touch or have ideas for future sessions, you can always email me at bowman53channel@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram, bowman53_Alex, and on X, 1953 Bowman Color. And of course, all that information can be found in the description below this session of Card Room Live. Is brought to you by Wilson Frank's Hot Dogs. Not only are they great hot dogs, but you can get free autographed color photographs of famous big league stars now in every pound package of Wilson certified Franks. Just think of it, guys. The wonderful Franks that you can get at a famous ballpark like Chicago's Comiskey Park. But you can also start collecting cards. Just ask Mom to get Wilson certified Franks tomorrow. There's one card in every package. You can ask your mom. I don't know how well that's going to go, but you should still call your mom and say hello if you haven't talked to her in a while, even if you're not going to get Wilson Frank's hot dogs. But remember that Ted Williams says that they're the best cards he's ever seen. And I'm sure they didn't pay him to say that at all. He just legitimately thought that. So welcome to everybody. Happy April to everyone. Baseball is well underway. This team right here, they're in first place. They sent LA packing. Farewell, Los Angeles. Sorry to ruin your parade. I'm sure the fanatic stuck his tongue out at you on your way out. It was a great day. I had a beautiful day here in Savannah, and I'm happy to be here live with y'all. I'm going to do a quick roll call and see who's here, and I can't wait to see all the nasty comments from the LA folks. And hey, those Giants are in first place too. That if you weren't already upset, maybe that would upset you some more. It's fun though, right? Absolutely, Mike. Good to see you. Stuke is here. Mike Good is here. Peter B is here. Ranger Studios is singing songs and getting drunk. Mike Polina is here. Mike, good to see you. Steven with a PH, everybody. Make sure you're spelling it with a PH. What's up, Steven? Pastor Craig is here. Drew Clean Cheap Shots is here. Orlando, A Collector's Dream is here. Diamond Gems 45. I waited as long as I could, and I started as soon as Jesse showed up. What's up, Jesse? We'll always have Brooklyn, right? Peacemaker Cards is here. Beat Up Cards is here. I like your channel name. Do you have a channel going? I don't know if I'm following your channel. If you do, let me know in the comments. Jason Everyday Card Collector is here. What's up, Jason? Mr. Mookie Pinhole Chilson is here. Are we going to relive the 1951 series with the Giants? We don't have to, but we could. Video Guy 316 is here. Mark Hoyle is here. Dom from Staven Sports Cards is here. Excited about those Red Sox. Mr. Kurt Litzy Sports Cards is here. One of the fellas is here with a wrench. Boston Kid is here. It's been a while, man. Hope you're doing well. Larry is here with some news about Chantilly. Make sure you guys are exchanging your phone numbers. That's a good way to use Cardroom Live to connect with each other. Hammer 44 is here. Dressen had no brains in 1951. Yeah, I can see that angle. Mr. Eddie's Cardboard Chaos is here, and he's letting us all know that he's here. I appreciate that. Low grade, no grade is here. Ruben Snyder's here. Ruben, what's up? Nice to see you. TTM Bob is here, and he's sorting cards. That's a good way to waste time with us here at Cardroom Live. Dustin and Blake is here. What's up, Dustin and Blake? Pre-War Dreams is here. Did anyone go to the card show in Chantilly? That's a good question. Make yourself heard if you've been to the Chantilly show. Call Chart Cards is here. I don't have any Wilson Frank cards. I really need to change that. Killer Brew 3 is here. Rearranging the card room. Dude, you have a great card room. I can understand the impulse to rearrange it, though. It's fun, right? You're a winner with Wiener cards. Absolutely. Cool. A Wilson Wiener Shane Dienst. That's not what I meant, Mookie. That's not what I meant, but sure, you can take it that way. Just an update in case you guys didn't know, the White Sox still suck. Yeah, I mean, the meme of the opening day was that the White Sox were eliminated, right? What's up, Dan? Vintage Baseball PC is here. A's fan Jim, always good to see you, Jim. John from 3D80s Kid is here. Good to see you all. but do they historically suck, right? There's always a record to be broken. Hey, I don't always wear the Brooklyn hat. I thought about wearing the Brooklyn hat. I really truly did. But I always enjoy wearing my Phillies hat. It's funny. I seem to wear my Phillies hat in particularly hostile areas. I used to wear it all the time in New York, and here I am in Atlanta Braves country. I mean, let's be honest. If you're not in Philadelphia, everybody's upset when you're wearing a Phillies hat, but it's particularly bad in Atlanta area / New York area. So I always enjoy the opportunity to upset people with my Phillies hat. Not yet. Okay. Well, maybe you should get thinking on that. Does anybody have any advice or reasons you want to share with Beat Up Cards as to why you should start a YouTube channel? Would love to hear some thoughts from folks in the chat about starting a YouTube channel. Steven is headed to Strongsville. We're also waiting for Litzy Sports Cars to start a YouTube channel. It's not the hat, Mookie. It's the person who wears it. Don't blame the hat. There you go. Chicks dig the YouTube channels. That's why we all started our channel, right? See, the thing about wearing anything at the Nationals Park is it's going to be okay. No offense to Nats fans, but you're going to be okay at Nationals Park wearing anything beyond Nationals gear. It's going to be all right. What's up, Dylan? It happened. Good to see you, man. Don't forget to put your orders in at the bar. Mike is handling things. The money and the glory, right? Fame and fortune. Concrete Buddies here. All right, guys. I'm gonna put the link in the chat here in a moment. I just want to say briefly, I said this at the end of last session, which was session 123. I had an absolute blast last time. This is the live stream that's not planned. At least that's generally the vibe. But I do every now and then, I do put some effort into it and thought and plan and ask people and come up with ideas and reach out to folks. But I also will just sometimes go live like this. And I put the link in last time, and you never know what's going to happen. And Rocket Rick jumped in, and everyday card collector Jason, who's here tonight, jumped in, and Max Jackson and Mitchell, White Sox fan card collector, and the Big Six Cards, relatively new channel with some incredible stuff. All those folks jumped in last time. Mark Hoyle jumped in as well, and I had a fantastic time. All off the cuff, impromptu, just jumping in, showing cards. And, it's like sessions like that really make doing Card Room Live a blast. And I want to thank those guys again. And I want to encourage anybody out there to consider jumping on tonight or on a future night. If you're not into it tonight, you can do it on a future night, or you can reach out to me. And, some people will jump on and they'll stay on for the entire hour. Some people will jump on for 5-10 minutes, show some cards and jump off. It's really up to you, whatever you would rather do. But I can tell you that to me, it's one of the kind of fun things that happens on Card Room Live is just the spontaneity of it. And it really does make it, for me, feel like the community that it is, that it's kind of random and just all in good fun. So I just wanted to shout those guys out and thank them and encourage some of you guys to do the same tonight. I have a few cards here. Before I get to those, I do want to mention that I finally finished this book. I mentioned this book maybe a few sessions ago, and actually we had a sort of an impromptu session on Lou Gehrig that Rick Vintage Oddball Cards helped me out with. It's this book, Luckiest Man, Life and Death of Lou Gehrig. Finished this book yesterday. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It really is just a kind of a chronology of his entire life. A lot of detail, but not overwhelming. Not just facts and figures. Really felt like I have a much stronger understanding of Lou Gehrig now. As I was reading, I was actually realizing how little I knew about him. And it makes that famous speech that he gave that everybody knows about all the more powerful when you realize what his life was like and what happened to him and exactly what that disease is like. That's the other thing. I didn't really fully appreciate and understand exactly what that disease is like. And, a lot to take in. I'll just say that. So really enjoyed that book. And now I have to pick another baseball book. I've got way too many baseball books sitting around, so I'll have to sort of sift through and pick which ones I'm going to get to next. Let me look through the chat real quick just to see what's going on here. Okay, we got a question from a wrench holder. I'm working on a piece of Eddie Matthews art. Should I put him in a Boston hat, a Milwaukee hat, or an Atlanta hat? My personal vote would be not Atlanta. Boston, Milwaukee. I would say Boston just because it would be less common, but I'm curious to see what everybody else says. Everybody's saying Milwaukee, it looks like. Do a profile so you don't see the side, the front of the hat. There you go. And Jason is just trolling. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like most people think of Sandy Koufax in an LA Dodger hat, but I always find it kind of intriguing when I see him in a Boston in a Brooklyn hat. There he is, Big Six. What's up? Thanks for jumping in last time. Chris, we can't wait around all night. I waited as long as I could, man. So here are a few cards that I have pulled aside. I'm the other news I have is that I'm really close to done with my Jackie Robinson video. I've been working on it off and on, but I recently had some time to really focus on it. I'm almost done. I have to do the intro. And I started pulling some cards that I need to put the intro together. And I have a bunch of non-slabbed cards here that I'm intending to use for the video. So I'll show some of these cards. Some 54 Bowmans here. Chicago White Sox. Joe Ginsburg. What, can you guys see him? There he is. Here's a gift from the reindeer. Some 53 tops. Bob Kennedy. If you're wondering where all these come from, these are the original vintage cards These are the first vintage cards that I ever owned as a teenager, which my dad picked up for me at a flea market, just on a whim. Frank Smith. And so these are the very first 53 Bowman colors that I ever owned. It's Bob Porterfield. I remember, and I've told this story many times, I remember when my dad handed me these cards, and these in particular, I was not convinced that they were baseball cards, because I was immediately wondering, where's the guy's name on the front? Where's the team logo? Where's the position listed on the front? They just looked strange to me. Here's a fantastic Philly Del Ennis with a great looking shot. Another Philly, Kurt Simmons. And my dad did not get me this card. This is a card I picked up much later. And I have a slabbed one of this, but I like the nature of this card. Some kid had fun with this card at some point. Maybe the dog had fun with this card too. So that's a good question. I don't know that I ever looked. I'm going to look right now live for you, Mookie. And we're going to sit in silence, and I'm going to look through these cards. I'm going to hold them up. I'm going to hold them up just for you, Mookie. It looked like a pinhole, but it wasn't. No stat line for the manager card. Because really, what would they? They've got some lifetime stats there. I'm really hoping that one of these has it, but so far, no dice. I should quick fill one of these out. I don't think I could do it in time. Sorry, Mookie. Thanks for asking, though. Pee Wee's car has spokesmarks. Yes. It's been through some things. All right, guys. I'm going to put the invite. We've got a half an hour here if anybody wants to jump in, share some cards, share some stories. Here's the link. You can stay in for the full half hour. You can stay in for 5 minutes. Whatever you please. He has 4 of 160. That's 4 more than I have. Here is a 54 Topps Teddy Baseball. And here is a Steven with a PH. What's up, Steven?
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
What's going on? You hear me all right?
I think I might have to get out of something. I might have too much stuff opened up.
Okay.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. You might, if you need to step out and come back in, that's okay.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. What's anything you want to share?
Yeah, I just want to say hi to everyone. I just thought I'd come on, and I'm going to take a few cards with me to possibly take down to Strongsville to trade.
Okay, great.
And I just thought I'd show them in case anyone's interested. I mean, there's nothing really spectacular, but I'm stuff I've figured I might move on from.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well, the first one is, I bought this a couple years ago. The first one is the 1953 Topps Satchel Paige.
Oh, wow. Nothing spectacular, huh? I disagree. That's amazing.
So I again, like I say, I'm looking at possibly moving on from a few cards, and I figured in my voyage to try and get the jackies I want to get, that's one of them. The next one is in 1955 Bowman Willie Mays.
Nice. And the 6 looks great.
Yeah, I ended up buying. I bought that raw, and I bought actually that one raw and sent it in for grading, and was pretty happy with what it came back at. The next one's the 1933 Gaudi Trish Speaker in a 4. I got a few more if you don't mind me showing them.
Yeah, please go for it.
I have the a couple not big roofs, but a couple ones with them with Max Schmeling, the 1932 Bulgaria, and
Oh, wow.
that one's in the 6. And I'm going to pair it up with the 1931 Giuseppe with Lloyd and Ruth. That one's in a 4.
Very nice.
And the final one I actually grabbed out for now, and I'm still going to look at a few other things possibly take down with me, is the 1925 Bogaleski Limited. I guess it's the baseball sports records. It's actually a depiction of George Sisler.
Yes, yeah, I have that card. It's beautiful.
And that's in the 7.5.
Very nice.
So, I'm looking at these cards, to be honest, Alex. I really like them, and I love to keep them. But if truth be told, I've had them for a few years now, and I figured now's a good time since I'm interested in a couple bigger Jackie cards, and I could possibly use them as a package for trade and cash.
Right.
So that's basically where I stand right now, and it's I was watching Orlando's video yesterday morning. Well, he did it yesterday morning, the one from Fort Lauderdale. Now, he came across one of his one of the display cases from one of the dealers there, had the 52 Jackie in a raw. It was a raw 52 Jackie. I got the information. I was talking with Orlando last night. I got the information from the gentleman. I sent him actually an email this morning, and unfortunately, he just sent it out to be graded.
Oh,
I was looking at, and again, just from the eye appeal in the case, it looked really nice.
Yeah.
He was asking $5,000 for it, which for a raw card with that eye appeal, I thought was pretty good. Now, I didn't get a chance to see it in person, obviously, because it was down in Florida. But I'm thinking, if I come across something like that in Strongsville this weekend, those are things that I'm looking for. It seems like it's got a nice price point for me. I'm okay with raw even if it comes back authentic. I'm okay with that, as long as it's a good looking sample. I'm good with it.
Right. Yeah, Stephen, how many authentics have you collected in so far in your hobby life? How often are you coming across them?
Not very many. I did come across. I have I picked up in the National last year, Cleveland, off of Ash. I packaged the 49 Bowman Jackie with the 48 blue tint, and it was an authentic.
Hmm.
Now I've since been looking at that authentic card, the 48 blue tint, and it is spectacular.
Hmm.
I've checked VCP and I've looked at a lot of the just to see some of the cards that have been grading 1s, 2s, 3s. And my authentic looks twice as good as, I mean, just obviously from my own personal opinion, just spectacular. It's a good looking sample, and it came back authentic. And I think it came back authentic for the most part is because one of the, I think it's the top part of it, you don't see much, if at all, any of the blue line that surrounds it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen in VCP, which is really strange to me, that I've seen in VCP. I've seen some cards that have only 2 blue lines, like top and bottom, not or side to left to right, but not top and bottom, getting grades.
Huh.
So it seems really strange and peculiar to me. But I'm very, very pleased with my authentic, and I see no need to regrade it.
Right. Right.
So
Because
just
it's like it's about the card, and you're probably happy with the deal you got on it, right? So like,
absolutely.
it all works out.
It is incredible when I look at it, and I'll be honest with it more than anything, Alex, is that you said, and that seems to be what everyone's going or navigating to, is the eye appeal and the look of it. I mean, when I look at a card now, and I think I've been doing it for quite a while, I mean, my first look is the eye appeal. Just the initial look at it is like, ooh, that looks nice. And
Right.
then, like your secondary, third, fourth, fifth looks around the card, you end up going to corners, or you possibly end up going to if there's what's the registrations like and all that stuff.
Right.
But I know for myself, no different than when Orlando was showing his video of the display cases. I mean, I saw it there, and I had to stop it. I went in and I took the guy's information, and again, it's eye appeal. And now, obviously, looking at the card more in depth, more than a couple seconds and up close, you'll get a better look of
Sure.
whether there's a crease in it or if there's But like I said with Orlando, I asked him, "Did you know?" He said, from a centering perspective and just the overall eye appeal, it looked pretty good.
Right. Right. Here's a question from Chris. What Jackies are you looking for?
Well, obviously the 52 tops is probably the big one I have left to get. I'm not sure how that will play out this upcoming weekend or this year from the price point, just from the dollar value. I'm not sure. I'm from Canada, and I'm not sure if a lot of people understand our exchange rate on the dollar is really, really bad.
Yeah.
It's so for me to buy a $10,000 card, I'm looking at $15,000. So again, that's
Wow.
where the price point's at.
Right.
So that is the card I would like to get. That's why I'm going to bring some cards with me just in case. And again, they may not move. They may, I mean, depending on what dealers need and don't need, or whatever people are looking for. But my main objective is to pick up something, Jackie, down there. I'm going in hoping for the 52 tops if
Sure.
the right thing comes available. But I also need the 54 New York Journal, the 54 American Journal of Jackie, and I need the 48 Sports, the Swell Sports Thrills. So those are the 3
Right.
bigger ones. I mean, I know just from Ash's on site, he's got I think it's the 1950 pinup, All-Star pinup, I think it was, or the of Jackie with, it's like the green circular border, and it comes in a book of 10 there were, I think it was.
Mhm.
I know he has one of those on his site. I saw Sammy last weekend, I think it was, or the week before, I'm not sure, when he picked up the Willie Mays 52 Star Cow
Yep.
he mentioned to me that Howard also had a raw 52 Jackie, which I currently have. I have that, but the one I have, which I believe is the rare one with the blue star. Well, if Howard's got the one with the 15 cent there instead of the blue star, that's a different sample. I might be interested in something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's basically where I'm looking for now. We're heading down there Thursday, get there Thursday night. Pretty excited with what I might come across Friday. But the best part, I think, of going this weekend is whatever the events that are being planned, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. I mean, it's going to be a really, really busy weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be hanging out with a lot of buddies and a lot of good people, and I haven't seen since the National.
Right,
So
right.
I'm looking super forward to talking to a lot of guys and just hanging out with them and the YouTube night Friday night, the trade night Saturday night. I mean, this stuff's going to be great. It's just, and then Thursday night, I mean, Jason and Sammy having their Code Ones and Cardboard. I mean, I might be popping in there just jumping around for them.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Fantastic. We got a couple guys waiting right in here. Let me bring these guys in.
Sounds good, my friend.
Vaughn. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Good deal. How you doing?
Doing good.
Excellent.
And we've also got Jerry, Big Six. Jerry, good to see you again.
Hey, thank you.
Hi, guys.
Thanks, Stephen.
How you doing?
Vaughn, do you have a channel?
No.
Okay,
No,
cool.
I did at one time, and I got rid of it, and so I sort of stepped away from the YouTube part. But I thought it might be fun to be part of a live stream.
All right. Well, welcome. Are you collecting right now?
Yes. I have a couple cards I can show.
Yeah, please go for it.
I'll start with the card everyone's probably seen, but 1965 Topps Whitey Ford.
Oh, great.
Nice.
One of my in a 1.5, which I thought, man, for 1.5, I was thrilled.
Yeah, looks like a 10.
One of the things I do is collect pitchers who have won 300 games as a professional.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if they're Major League Baseball, minor leagues, anywhere around the world. If they played professional baseball and they won 300 games, I try to get one of their cards. So this is Whitey Ford. He won 314 games that I know of. I'm still doing research on everything. Obviously he pitched for that team in New York. Pitched in the minor league.
Yeah.
Pitched in the postseason a lot, back when it was just the World Series. And then he also pitched one winter down in Mexico.
Right.
So
Fantastic.
that's Whitey. And I'm going to go slightly more obscure in both player and set. This is a 1928 Xena of Herman Old Folks Paulette.
Wow.
I've really grown to like the Xena minor league cards from the Pacific Coast League.
Yeah.
Don't expect a PSA 10 out of any of them though.
Sure.
Don't. What I like about him is according to my research, he has over 300 wins, and he pitched part of his first minor league season in my hometown of Richmond, Indiana.
Okay.
Obviously, I wasn't around back then. I think my grandfather would have been a teenager back then. But,
right. Vaughn, I put this in the chat, and if you have a chance to try to grab it, I encourage you to go to this channel, Stars of the Diamond. He doesn't make videos that frequently, but he has an incredible Z-Nut collection that just goes on for days. So I'm sure if you like that set, you'd appreciate that guy's channel.
Okay, I will definitely do that.
Cool.
I got a couple more, but I'll let you talk.
Sure, Jerry. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Doing good.
That's good.
What do you have handy?
Vaughn was talking about 300 game winners. So I thought I'd show a player that won 340 games.
Okay.
Tim Keefe. 340 wins, 225 losses. The only 19th century pitcher with a better WAR is Mickey Welch. And there was years that he won like 41 games, 37, 36, 42. So he was a very dominant 19th century pitcher. So that's Tim Keefe in an old Judge cabinet. Played for New York.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And I just throw Turkey Red Cheap Vendor.
Oh, wow.
Great.
It's in a 3, I think, but beautiful card.
That should be in a
Jerry.
museum somewhere.
Yeah, Jerry, what if you had to guess, like what part of your collection is the most complete, I guess?
Well, I've always been a Hall of Fame collector, so
Okay.
I got a lot of T206 Hall of Famers in grades 3 to 5. Most of them are 4s that I collected, going back to the 80s through the 90s and 2000s. I have some Turkey Red Hall of Famers. So it's just Hall of Famers in general.
Sure.
I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and I bought a lot of 50s and 60s cards, and I've sold them 3 different times to buy the older stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So mainly just a Hall of Fame collector. And the older, the better for me. That's just the way I've collected over the years.
Sure.
Yeah. But I got caramel cards and stuff like that.
Right.
Here's one more. I'll show one more real quick.
Go for it.
It's a beautiful card. It's
Oh yeah.
just a beautiful. It's almost like he's reaching out and throwing a fastball. But there's the T206 is the same
Yes.
pose, but Turkey Red is. I mean, a lot of people don't like oversized cards, but I just think Turkey Reds are beautiful.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's worth the challenge of figuring out how to store them because they're incredible to look at.
Yeah.
Great, Vaughn. I'm curious if you can share how you kind of settled on your PC of pitchers of like, was it 300 wins or more? Like, how did you sort of settle on that?
Well, it's part of actually kind of a bigger theme of guys with 3,000 more hits, professional hits, 500 more home runs, or 3,000 more strikeouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Would you like
And
to
how
see
long?
that?
Yeah, please. How long have you been working on that?
About 2 years.
Okay.
Be 2 years, early June.
Okay.
This is, hopefully this comes out okay, a
Yeah.
1960 Manco JCM 138 of Masayaki Kaneda. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He is a Japanese pitching legend with 400 wins in the regular season in Japan. And because I don't know if anyone here has ever seen one of these, that's what it looks like.
Very cool.
Yeah, the Japanese ones I think are just really neat. I've got like a Sadaharu I've had since right at the beginning of right before the beginning of COVID,
Okay.
and Isao Haramoto, and of course I collect Otani and people like that. Now I'll show one more, and then I just really dig this card. 1960 Spick and Span Juan Pizarro First of all, I think it's hilarious this card is in crooked.
Yeah, right.
Like, let me just PC cards that are in their holders crooked. I'll do that. Now, he was sort of a well-traveled pitcher in the major leagues, but he was also really, really, really good in his home of Puerto Rico. And between Puerto Rico, the U.S., and Mexico, he won 423 games at least.
Wow.
With over 6,000 innings pitched and over 4,800 strikeouts. And I've been doing a lot of research on him, and I'm just like, this is a cool story, you know?
Right.
And by the way, he won 400 games and didn't pitch past the age of 39.
That's incredible. Unheard
So
of.
if he had pitched in his 40s like George Brunette had, another 400 game winner, he would have had 500 games and would have been the only person in like post World War I or World War II, really, but with 500 professional wins.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Vaughn, I'm not sure if you know about these channels or not, but I want to shout out a couple of channels that if you're not aware of, you should definitely check them out. In terms of Japanese cards, the first would be this one here. He's also a seller, but he's a YouTuber as well. Prestige Collectibles. If you ever look up Japanese baseball cards, you're gonna find his eBay store, but he also is at a lot of shows. And so you should definitely check him out. And then the other channel, let's see if I can find it real quick. It's just a matter of scrambling around. Oh, I'm looking on the wrong page. That would do it. Give me one sec here. Because it's worth it. Because, you know, it's not every day you see Japanese cards on YouTube. And there are a couple of great channels out there that will show cards. Here it is. JP Wisco baseball cards. I'm sure someone's already putting it in here. This channel you should definitely look up as well. He actually lives in Japan. He's from the US, but he lives in Japan and has a fantastic vintage Japanese baseball collection. So you should definitely look him up too.
Awesome.
And I totally echo this comment from Eddie. You should really think about starting a channel again.
Absolutely.
Like you've got a lot of stories to tell.
I appreciate that. I really do.
For sure. Jerry or Steven, anything you guys want to show?
I don't want to show anything, but I got a question for Jerry. I mean, I last week, Jerry, I saw you on there last week, and just admire the stuff that you were showing last week and even tonight. Do you go to many card shows anymore? What's your path of collecting, or I mean, whereabouts in the country do you live, and you know, a little bit more about you, I guess.
Well, I live in Southeast Texas, and there's not many shows here. There's a few like Pokemon, modern, 10% vintage, you know, and mainly I buy off different, you know, like Net54. I buy cards off there, buy, sell, and trade. I buy off of eBay. I buy off MySlabs, different places like that. And I've been collecting since the middle 80s. Of course, I collected as a kid, but my mother gave my cards away when I went in the Navy. So, you know, of course, they weren't, you know, they weren't worth anything then, you know. But it was 1966, but yeah, I just always just different ways, mostly forums and eBay, I guess, and that's about it.
Do you have any interest in going to like the national or these bigger shows, or like?
Well, my age, it's, you know, I'm not I'm 76 years old. It's a little harder to travel, when you get
Yeah.
older like that.
Yeah.
But I've been the only national I've been to. They had one in Houston in
Yeah.
1920, and I bought a turkey red Walter Johnson,
Wow.
Yeah.
and I bought this Matheson Silk
Oh yes.
S81 Matheson Silk, and it
I
was
think Sammy Thunder has one of those.
yeah, it was a turkey red premium.
Yeah.
And there was leathers too. I don't know if you've ever seen a leather. It looks like
Yes.
it looks like an animal with the
Yes.
plate in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
Have you ever with the Dallas show down there? That seems to be one of the bigger ones down that area. Have you ever ventured that way or?
yeah. I'm going to probably the next show. I'll probably go. It's a 3-hour drive for me, and
Yep.
that's no big deal. But I've been saving up for a big card, and I think that's the only place I'm going to be able to find one. Where you can hold it in your hand and look at it.
Sure.
You don't have to look at a picture of it.
It's completely different. I mean, there's some good YouTubers down there that would love to chit chat with you down there. I mean, you got guys like Baseball Collector Mike and some of
Yeah.
these other guys. There's a lot of them down there. You
Yeah.
would have a blast.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've got to do it. I've got a friend here in the neighborhood that collects also, and I'm trying to get him to go with me. But
Well,
he's
that'd be
got a
wonderful.
fantasy collection. But anyway,
Well, here's another YouTuber going, Stuke. Planning on going to the Dallas show in May. You guys would have a lot in common. He has an
yeah,
Yes.
I've been watching Stuke's channel. I enjoy his exhibits,
Yeah.
absolutely
learning about all those common players that
right.
he talks about. But anyway.
Oh, that's awesome, Jerry.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy. I mean, watching y'all's channels. I've been a long time listener, and first time caller. But I've been watching all y'all's channels. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, I tell you, if I was again just going to Strongsville, I know I'm bringing it up a lot, but this weekend it's all about the guys. I mean,
Yeah.
when I get there,
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll be looking cards and I'll be looking for stuff, obviously Jackie stuff, but nothing's more important than the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Let alone all day inside the arena, chit-chatting all day and hanging out with everyone. There's going to be a ton of us there, and that is the most important part of this of me going to Strongsville this weekend is just hanging out with dudes like me. I mean, and we're all walks of life. And that's the best part. We share one common goal, and that brings us closer together than anything. I mean, I can't wait for this weekend.
There's you got to go to those type of shows to see cards that you don't see.
Yep.
Normally, like at the National, you might see a Connie Mack cabinet card from the 1800s. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just crazy.
Absolutely. Well, hey guys, we should probably start wrapping it up. Make sure everybody heads over to 4 Collectors at 9:00 for the next live stream. But I want to say to Steven and Vaughn and Jerry, thanks guys for hopping on. Appreciate it. Appreciate you all sharing your cards.
Thanks, Alex. Nice meeting you guys. Hopefully, talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
y'all take care.
Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.
You too.
Take care.
Thanks,
All
Mark.
Bye.
See you later.